With lots of luck and some intuition, you can bring all your dreams to their fruition on Card Sharks. And here's the host of Card Sharks, Jim Perry.
Thank you very much. Welcome to Card Sharks. Happy to have you here with us. And thank you, as always, for joining us at home. You're very kind. And the opening poem sent in by Mrs. Irma Lovgren of South Bend, Indiana, watching us on WNDV-TV, Channel 16. Thank you, Mrs. Lovgren. Now we're going to open up the board and get to the cards. Janice and Lois, if you will, start loading in the cards. Here come our Card Sharks. Come on out. Come on out. Nobody wants to come join me. Hello there, Fran Valencia, our champion. I'm fine. And again, won't you tell us a little about yourself?
Sure, I'm Fran Valencia. I live in Apple Valley, California. I'm an unemployed paralegal. I'm also pregnant, and today's my birthday.
That's right. Today, isn't that nice? Happy birthday.
Thank you very much.
We're happy for you. And helping to celebrate your birthday is the fact that you've won $5,800 in cash, too. Right, man?
Oh, yes.
And Colleen Moore is our challenger. Hello, Colleen.
Hello.
And we welcome you, and won't you tell us something about you?
All right, I'm Colleen Moore. I'm from San Diego. I love music. I love water skiing. I'm a retired bookkeeper, retired secretary, retired hairdresser. All this for the past 3 years to become a baby maker.
Oh.
That's all I've been doing the past 3 years.
How old are the babies?
I had 3 in less than 3 years.
That's definitely a baby maker, right? And you do pronounce it Colleen,
it's
not
Colleen. Yes.
Colleen.
Yes.
You both cut the cards at the beginning of the match?
Yes, we did.
Well, we'll pick up where we left off. Good luck to both of you. We play the best 2 games out of 3. We're in the middle of game number 1. Looking at the board, Colleen has moved over. She now has a 9, needing 3 cards. Fran has yet to turn over a card. We pick up with question 2, and it goes to you, Colleen. Colleen, we asked 100 senior citizen men, have you ever pinched a lady at a senior citizen's dance? How many senior citizen men admitted they've pinched a lady
I think
at a
that's
senior citizen's
going
dance?
to be high. My grandfather is always pinching, slapping, my grandmother. I think that is going to be a high number. So I'm going to say 68.
68. Higher or lower, Fran?
Well, I think these senior citizen men might pinch younger girls, but if it's at a senior citizen dance, I think they're going to be nice and respectable. I think it's going to be a little lower than that.
If it's lower, Fran, you'll play your cards. If not, Colleen plays hers. The actual number of senior citizen men who've pinched a lady at a senior citizen's dance is 9. That's all. You're right, Fran. I guess they're on their best behavior. Fran, you start off the game with a jack.
Change it, please.
You win the question. You have the right to change it to a 9.
Lower it, please.
Lower than a 9. Yes, a 7.
Freeze.
We move over the freeze bar, protecting that position. Both players need 3 cards. Question goes to you, Fran. Fran, we asked 100 child psychiatrists. Generally speaking, are people who have an unhappy childhood more likely to become bad parents? How many child psychiatrists said yes, people who have an unhappy childhood are more likely to become bad parents?
I think that's a very high number because, unfortunately, from their childhood, they're probably so concerned that they're over trying, and I think it's going to be high, probably around 78.
Fran says 78 out of 100 who, if they had a bad childhood, are going to have bad parents.
I think that number is going to be higher because all the reports that you hear about child abuse and unhappy childhoods, it comes back to haunt them. That is going to be a higher number.
Say higher. Well, it didn't say child abuse. Remember, it said unhappy. That may not be the same. I don't know. We'll find out how they think about it as Fran says 78 and Colleen higher. The actual number of child psychiatrists who said people who have an unhappy childhood are more likely to become bad parents is 79. You're right, Colleen. It is higher. Oh, depressingly high, as a matter of fact. And now Colleen can get rid of the 9 with a king.
All right.
Lower than a king, a queen.
Lower.
Risking it lower. It is a 4. If it's higher, she has the first game, and she does. Challenger wins game number 1. Once again, Fran has to make a comeback. You've had to do that a couple of times.
I know.
Can she do it again? We'll find out right after this commercial break. Game 1 of the Challenger. Janice is dealing out same 2 decks of cards with the next cards off the top of the deck. And we'll start game 2 with a question to you, Colleen. Colleen, we asked 100 married women, have you ever looked at your husband and asked yourself, don't I deserve better than this? How Many women have said that.
I'm a married woman, but I am 100% happy with my husband. I've got to think that a woman makes a decision, she's going to rely on that decision. So I'm going to say that's relatively low. I'm going to go with 35.
35 out of 100 have said, don't I deserve better,
I know
Fran?
there are some times when I haven't really meant it, but boy, when I'm mad, I go, what did I do to deserve this? So I'm going to say it's higher.
The actual number of married women who've looked at their husband and asked, don't I deserve better than this, is 36. You're right, Fran, by 1. And Fran starts off game 2 with a 6.
Would you change it, please?
We will indeed. The 6 to a queen.
Lower than the queen.
Lower than the queen, a 10.
Lower than the 10.
Risking it lower, it is a 7.
Freeze.
And Fran is halfway there to tying up the match. Question to you, Fran. Fran, we asked 100 Protestant ministers. Fascinating question for the ministers. Would you vote for a presidential candidate who stated he did not believe in God? How many ministers would vote for a presidential candidate even if he did not believe in God?
I think that's going to be a very low number because they're afraid of what a person who isn't God-fearing, what they would do. I'd say it's going to be maybe 8.
8 out of 100 ministers.
I've got to say there are a lot of Protestant ministers that are liberal. My brother is a minister, and my husband at one time was a youth minister, and there's a lot of them out there that are super liberal. That's going to be a little bit higher.
You say higher.
A little bit higher.
The actual number of ministers who would vote for a presidential candidate who did not believe in God is 18. Colleen is right. It is higher. And Colleen in game 2 has a 4. Higher than the 4. An ace. Lower than the ace. Another ace. And it's not lower. And that's a break for you, Fran, with a 7.
Against the odds, say lower than the 7.
She's got a feeling against the odds. No. Should have stuck with the odds on that one. Janice will fill in the spaces. And Colleen, the question to you. Now, this is a fact, Colleen. Every night on Italian television, dozens of housewives perform a striptease. Yeah, every night. So we asked 100 housewives across the United States. If it were legal here, would you be willing to do a striptease on American television? How many housewives would be willing to do a striptease on television?
I think most housewives would be embarrassed to do that. I would be embarrassed to do that, and I'm not a very shy person, but I think that's really coming on a bit too much.
How many would be willing? I'm going to
say it is only 20.
20 would be willing, Fran. What do you think?
I could swear that there's a show that's very similar to that. They're already walking around in bikinis, so I'm going to say it's higher.
Higher. Colleen said she wouldn't do it. Fran, what do you think? Would you?
Not right now, I wouldn't.
Okay. 20 for Colleen. Pregnant Fran says higher. The actual number of housewives who would be willing to do a striptease on TV is 4. That's all. Just 4. It's lower. And Colleen, you've got a 4.
I'm going to go higher.
Playing the 4 higher. It is a 5.
All right, I'm going to go higher.
Higher again. A 10. We have a tie. Each player needing 2 cards. Sudden death. Someone has to win it on this play of the cards. Fran, we asked 100 first grade kids. When you get a boo-boo... A boo-boo? Who wrote this question? We asked 100 first grade kids. When you get a boo-boo, does a kiss from your mom really make it feel better? How many first graders said when they get a boo-boo... a kiss from mommy makes it better?
I happen to have a stepdaughter in the first grade. She prefers ice cubes, actually, but a kiss does make it feel better to her. I'm going to say it's high. I'm going to say it's about 82.
82 out of 100 first graders said, yeah, they get a boo-boo. A kiss from mommy, that'll make it better.
That's a tough number, but I think I'm going to say it's a little bit higher. It's more than the kiss. It's knowing that somebody cares that they got hurt, and every first grader wants to know that. I'm
Even
going to say
higher
it's
than
a
that?
little higher.
Well, this will give someone control in sudden death. The actual number of first graders who said when they get a boo-boo, a kiss from mommy makes it better is 63, not higher. Fran has control.
Oh, boy, this is a
Fran,
toughie.
yeah, you've got a tough decision because you have a 7. You could change it if you want. Try to turn over 2 cards. Colleen with a 10 also needs 2.
I'm going to change it and try to play it.
You're going to try to do it yourself. Then this is a very big change for Fran because she must turn them both over. A king gives her a good head
Lower,
start.
please, than the king.
Lower than a king. It is a 6.
Higher than the 6.
If it's higher, we have a tie. If not, we have a new champion. It is not higher. Colleen wins it, becomes the champion. Well, it's no way to celebrate your birthday.
No, but
but nonetheless, Fran, $5,800 a very profitable set.
Yes, thank you.
Good luck with the baby. You're
Thank you very much.
Fran Valencia. Thank you, Fran. And Colleen Moore, come on down here, our new champion. Congratulations.
Thank you.
And Colleen goes for the big money with the money cards right after this commercial break.